Boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's your boy Nolan Hawkeye Anthony here, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you may be, and of course, however you may be listening. It's your boy Nolan Hawkeye Anthony here, of course. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Always trust your boy. Always trust your boy. This is going to be more of a relaxed show. It's not going to be too long, 15 minutes tops. So many people were messaging me, asking me how important the Xavier Wampa commitment was. And I thought that I should share some thoughts on it. Pretty much everything that I think on it, I said in the video that is already almost up to 1,000 views. I knew it would be a very popular one. Again, not because I'm talented or anything. It's because you guys are absolutely incredible. Xavier, if you want to come on the show ever, just you know where to find me. Facebook, Twitter, at 247 Hawkeye. But it was incredible. I want to show this interview real quick just to get some extra stuff in here, some extra content, as they say. And then I'm going to tell you guys what this means for Iowa going forward. Okay. Because it means a lot. It really does. By the way, there were, I've told you guys I played Division I water polo. I am the leading scorer in my all-time leading scorer in both water polo and basketball in my high school's history. Although the record might be broken in basketball. I'm not sure. But, and there were two guys that were a grade above me who were friends of mine. Matter of fact, I'm going to show them. Real quick. And they were massively recruited guys. And it's just, I was thinking, how cool it would have been to have something like what Xavier had with, this is Jalen Cope Fitzpatrick. I've known this guy since probably fourth grade. He was a grade above me. And he was actually originally much better at basketball. And then he decided to play football, switch over to football. And the dude had offers from everywhere, literally everywhere. But anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is that the difference between California and a state like Iowa, it would have been cool for myself, for the other two guys to get together with the other recruits and decide where we were going to go, things like that. But the bottom line is, in a state like California, yes, sports is popular, but they don't care about it on a local level like they do. I mean, there's some schools that do, but for the most part, they don't really care that much. And it was really refreshing to see a community come out in mass for this and just show this guy all kinds of support. And the overall point is that this is why he committed to the Hawkeyes right here. This is the very reason why he committed to the Hawkeyes. So here, let's play this.
Xavier, first of all, happy birthday and congratulations on the decision. Just first things first, why Iowa?
Their DB production has just been like in and out every year. Like they get the top guys, send them to the league, and that's just something I want to be a part of. And
it seems as though Xavier was not super aware of how strong Iowa was at producing NFL talent, especially at the defensive back position. So that is certainly interesting. That seems in my opinion, if that's the first thing that came to his mind, well, then that might be the biggest reason why he chose the Hawkeyes. All right, let's keep watching.
Their culture there and the stability they had in that coaching staff. Like, I want to be there with the coaches that would be there, that watch me walk in, that watch me walk out.
Yeah, how much of a factor is that?
So he's saying that a big decision or a big factor to him was the fact that the Iowa coaching staff would be there when he got in as a freshman and would definitely be there when he left, because the bottom line is Ryan Day, who knows, 2 years from now, who knows? The guy could not only not be at Ohio State because he goes to the NFL, he could not be at Ohio State because they lose to Michigan or a handful of other factors. Whereas with Kirk Ferentz, I'm positive that he's going to coach until his contract is done at the very least, especially with him having 2 back-to-back phenomenal classes, which I'll get into.
Just said it, 5 of the last 11 defensive backs of the year in the Big Ten have come from Iowa. That had to be a factor in your decision.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, Ohio State has a few, but, like, the other schools, like, there's nothing that's produced like Iowa has. And they don't even get the high-caliber guys, so it's pretty cool. I'm excited to go see what I can do there.
How close were these other schools? You know, a lot of people thought maybe Ohio State. Of course, people here were optimistic in the state of Iowa that you would stay home, but how close were these other schools?
At points in time, I almost committed to each and every school. So, like, Ohio State, I was really close with all the commits there. And, like, the younger guys that were.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. I was the first person that I can think of who said, you know what? I think Iowa's in the lead right now. And I told you guys that many times. Those of you who watch this show a lot know that many months ago, I believe it was before the Penn State game, I said, look out for Iowa. Iowa is right there. They are right there for his commitment.
On the team. And then Notre Dame, like, I was super close there just because what they can provide for you academically and athletically is like some of the best of both worlds. But I just felt like this was the best fit for me.
Take me through the timeline. When did you make that final decision to stay here in Iowa?
So, like, talking with my parents, we talked this past weekend, and that's where we thought this would be the best place for me. And then I told Coach Ferentz and Coach Parker Monday night in my in-home visit that that's where I was going to be.
Nice.
We saw that picture all over Twitter, and that you said that was the moment you committed. What was their reaction to that?
There was just hugs all around. They were super ecstatic. Like, definitely softened the wound from this past weekend, but they're going to get ready for this bowl game and hopefully go get a win.
How important was it for you to stay home?
Super important.
I also want to say that Xavier, you know, with talented guys, especially in football and basketball, you know, the guys sometimes, I'm not saying always, but sometimes are not as down to earth as you would hope. You know, literally everything in their life is taken care of because of how talented they are. Everybody is so nice to them, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. Okay. Especially in these smaller states where they care about high school football and college football more so than a state like California does. But Xavier seems like a good guy. He seems like a good guy. And that is definitely good. I was hoping here that they were going to show
Wampa, top safety in the class of 22, and maybe the top soft-spoken young man. There it is, Xavier Wampa.
Maybe this is it. Let's see if this is it. Well, let's keep watching this while that's going.
And, like, I got to put on for my community and, like, where I'm from and just show what we can do out here too.
What kind of a player is Iowa getting? Obviously, they have a strong tradition in the defensive secondary. You've got to feel pretty good that you can contribute to that.
Definitely my versatility. I can play multiple positions and help lead and just compete every day, try to make the best out of myself and everyone on the team.
Guys, I'm so excited to see Cooper DeJean and Xavier Wampa side by side. I mean, that's got to be, and Cooper DeJean, I'm a little upset that the Iowa coaching staff didn't decide to keep his red shirt. I think they should have, especially when he didn't get in his guys can play up to 4 games before losing their red shirt, which when I was in college was not the case. And if you look at the snap count of Cooper DeJean, it's not super high. And so, in my opinion, it would have been just better to redshirt him if you weren't going to play him in a significant amount of snaps. You already got what you wanted to get, which is get him acclimated to traveling on the road, this and that. But anyways, the red shirt is off. Cooper DeJean is obviously in the 2 deeps for the Iowa Hawkeyes moving forward at safety and corner. And this is going to be awesome. Let me go back to this. Here it is. Here it is.
At the University of... years, I'll be continuing my academic and athletic.
Tell us in your own way where you're going to college.
So for the next 3 to 5 years, I'll be continuing my academic and athletic career at the University of...
That's so funny that he did that. That's funny. Look at this guy blocking the camera. Look at this Yahoo. What are you doing, Santa Cruz?
Down in front.
Yeah, he ruined it.
Oh, man, what a...
All right, let's finish watching this, and then I'm going to...
People have been asking you for a year, 2 years, maybe longer. When are you going to announce? Where are you going? What's it going to be like? How relieved are you, too, to have this done?
Definitely took some stress off my shoulders and some pressure, but super cool. Everyone's been super supportive the whole time, so it's cool now to be committed and about to go to college here in like 3 weeks or so.
Xavier, you finished with a state championship. You're now an Iowa Hawkeye. As you kind of look back on everything, can you just describe what this has been like for you your senior year?
Honestly, it's been kind of undescribable. We came into our senior year, we were runner-ups the past year, so I got hurt, tried to bounce back and recover, and continue.
By the way, they lost to Ankeny, who had Iowa commits Arland Bruce and Brody Brecht on the squad.
The season strong, came to state championship, and now I'm committed to the home school, so like really can ask for a better ending.
All right, man. Congratulations. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, he really seems like a good dude. I would love to have him on the show. You know, he really seems like a good guy. Now, it's very unlikely considering he's going to be going to college here very shortly. So I don't think I can make that happen, unfortunately. But what does this mean for the Iowa Hawkeyes? Okay, that is the main point of this video. And in my opinion, this shows that Iowa can keep significant talent home. Okay, that's first and foremost. If we look back to the 2021 recruiting class, okay, I'm going to show you the Iowa State rankings, okay? The 2021 recruiting class was ranked 24th, 7th in the Big Ten with an average rating of 8.777, okay? Let's take a look at the state rankings, both composite and by 247 Sports. Let's pull up Connor Colby here. So that's the first thing, is that Iowa can keep significant talent home. And if you take into account COOF, aka COVID, which is never going to end, by the way, until the people raise up. And you take into account the allegations, which in my opinion, the Iowa media was never fair about. Iowa did very well, especially keeping the 2021 commits committed while all of that was going on. So here are the 247, not the composite, the 247 rankings. Thomas Fedone was the #1 guy. Before he was offered to go to Nebraska, he highly considered Iowa, but his dad, I believe, played for Nebraska. But Iowa got 2 of the top 5 guys, okay, which is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. And I've always said the number one thing you need to try and do as the Iowa Hawkeyes is get 2 or 3 of the top 5 guys in your state. Okay. By the way, they did not offer Tyler Moore right here. Okay. So really, they got 2 out of the 4 guys that were the top 4 guys in the state that Iowa wanted to get. TJ Ballers, whose dad played at Iowa, absolutely spurned Iowa. The relationship just was not good. But overall, Iowa did really good. This was probably a historic class in 2021. I mean, look at 4-star. They got so much talent out of the state. But overall, it shows that they can keep the top talent at home. Okay. Now let's look at 2022, shall we? Let's look at 2022. Okay. The state rankings. Man, this is so huge. Unbelievable. Iowa has 2 of the top 3 guys. I think it's 2 of the top 2 guys. I think Aaron Graves is the number 2 player, if not the number 1 player in the state of Iowa. I did a video evaluating his tape. Go check it out. But guys that are committed to Notre Dame or Ohio State always get bumps in the recruiting rankings. That's just how it is. Eli Raridan was a 3-star for much of his career. Then he shot up to the number 2 tight end in the country. But Iowa got 2 of the top 5 guys. Now, did they swing and miss on Hunter Deo, on Jacob Emming? Yeah, they did. Okay, especially considering Jacob Emming was an Iowa Hawkeye fan. I'm hoping that they land Landon Van Kekerix. That's a super Iowa name if I've ever heard one. But Iowa landed the top talent. Okay, that's first and foremost. It shows that they can land top tier talent in their state. The other thing is that is kind of attached to the first thing is what can they do in the future? The relationships are there because once you land one guy, you immediately build a relationship to get guys who know, to get talented guys who know the recruit who just committed to you. And what do I mean? Let's take a look at 2023, shall we? Where Iowa already has 2 commitments, okay? Let's take a look. Ben Cater and Maddox Borcherding Johnson. Let's take a look at who I'm talking about. Well, Caden Proctor, okay, one of the top O-linemen, if not the top offensive tackles in the country, okay? There are some other very talented guys in the state of Iowa who I fully expect to jump up the recruiting rankings. And by the way, I do not expect Iowa State to ever do as well, at least not for the next 2 years in the state of Iowa that they did this past year, because to put it mildly, recruits don't really know for sure if Matt Campbell's going to stay at Iowa State. Every year he is talked about leaving. And at a certain point, recruits are just going to say, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I cannot deal with that. But the relationship is there. And by the way, from what I have read, Caden Proctor is even more of a natural Iowa fan than Xavier Wampa was. In other words, Iowa off the gate has a better chance of landing Caden Proctor just off of how he naturally feels about the Iowa Hawkeyes than they ever had with Xavier Wampa. You have that. Then you have, if I show you guys this here, let's go back a little bit. Let's go to who the Iowa Hawkeyes are considering. Let's go to prospects here. By the way, if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. The content on this channel is excellent. And we're so close to 1,000 subscribers. But if you don't think I've earned your subscribe, at the very least, like and comment. I try to get to every comment. Kyler Casper, who is the son of, well, I'm blanking on his name. Kevin Casper, I believe his name is, the NFL wide receiver, he has an excellent relationship with Xavier. He played for the Tucson whatever in 7-on-7 football. They know each other very, very well. They're very, very close. And my point is just simply that when you land a guy like Xavier, who has relationships already built, you don't only land him, but you land his connections as well. At the very least, it gives you a foot in the door, an extra foot in the door for those connections. I remember when I was going through my recruitment, one of the guys who was on my travel team for water polo, the fact that I knew him made me so much more comfortable naturally with the team than if I didn't know him, okay? Because it just added a layer of personalization. So, and the last thing that I would say, so you have, number one, the fact that Iowa has shown that they can land top in-state talent. By the way, Iowa must do well with Xavier Wampa. They need to make it a priority to make sure he pans out at Iowa, because it's not just enough to land him. You have to show other recruits that you can land somebody like Xavier and continue to make him an excellent player. Because if he goes to your school and it doesn't pan out, well, then you eventually lose your connection, and the recruits look at it and go, well, you can't even if you do land me, there's no guarantee you're going to develop me like you do with these other guys. So they need to do well with him. So that's number one. Number two is the connections that you have when you land a guy like that. And the number three thing, and this is the last thing that I want to bring up, is the Iowa Hawkeyes have, here's some other guys that are high on the Hawkeyes. Marco Lanes, whose quarterback coach is also the quarterback coach of Nate Stanley, is currently crystal ball picked to go to Iowa. Now, if you're Iowa, if he decides to choose you, you definitely say yes. But I will say that there's a guy that is also in the state, J.J. Cole, right here, who is very, very talented as well. That the Hawkeyes might actually want instead. But anyways, let's take a look at the Iowa classes in 2020. Let's go all the way back to 2020, okay? And my last point is Kirk Ferentz has been recruiting so much better. And I've always said if he can have a top 40 class at the very least, who knows what he's capable of developing at the University of Iowa. Because if you go back to the 2010s, Iowa would be like the 55th or the 60th best recruiting class in the country. So if we go all the way back to 2020, Iowa had the 35th best class. There's, Deuce Hogan decided to transfer, but it didn't work out. It is what it is. But overall, Iowa still has a lot of these guys. Lucas Van Ness, Jay Higgins, Reggie Bracey, Yaya Black, Gavin Williams, Tyler Ellsbury, Luke Lachey, Deontay Craig are all contributing, solid snaps. Logan Jones has been injured. I hope, he, ends up being able to contribute because he is a very talented guy. We'll see what happens there. So this is the 2020 recruiting class. Let's take a look at 2021, which was the 24th best class in the country. Look at all of this talent here. Man, woo! Unbelievable. Okay. Now, let's look at 2022. And by the way, the 2022 recruiting class is actually higher in the average rating that you guys can see here, averaging 0.88. My point is, and this is point number 3, is Kirk Ferentz needs to do as much with this talent as he possibly can, okay? Because it is rare for Iowa to be recruiting at this type of level. Do I think that Iowa can recruit at this type of level for a consistent period of time? Yeah, I do. But Kirk Ferentz, in general, doesn't really care a whole lot about, recruiting. Well, he cares about recruiting, but if they believe they can develop a guy, they just get that guy. They don't care about the 5-star, the 4-star like, we do. And last but not least, I need to say who I think Iowa ends up landing in the 2022 recruiting class, okay? And if we look over here, by the way, the 2022 recruiting class is going to be much smaller. I think maximum it'll be 17 guys. I've heard that they will take 15. So they're going to take, in my opinion, 15 to 17 scholarship guys. They already have a very solid walk-on class, which they had in 2021 as well. Currently, TJ Hall, the cornerback out of California, about 2 hours away from where I live in California, he is projected to go to Iowa. Brian Allen, who was committed to Illinois, then decommitted and then was favored to go to Iowa. Then he was favored to go to Oregon. Now he is favored again to go to Iowa. And there are a few others. Let me pull up who Iowa is still considering and who I think they end up landing in this recruiting class to end it out or end this recruiting class. I believe they will land TJ Hall any day now, which will be awesome. I think they have a chance with Cohen Estringer, but it's going to be hard because Michigan offered and Notre Dame offered. I believe Iowa is looking at him as a DB, although they could be open and their pitch to him in recruiting could be, well, we need a guy both as a receiver and a DB. So whichever you come to Iowa and we need more, we'll put you there, or wherever we think would be your best fit, that's where we'll put you and you'll be just fine. Either way, we have a need at both positions. I don't think they land Cohen Estringer. I just don't. Even if Phil Parker pushes hard to land him, I don't think they end up landing him. I do think they land Orlando Trader, who his composite ranking is not great, but he is graded as an 87 by 247 Sports. And I think they do land Ron Crawford. I do, because right now his highest offer outside of Iowa is Arkansas State. So I think they land Ron Crawford. And Brian Allen, I don't know. He is considered a 4-star by Rivals. I think it's about 50-50. I'm not going to say I think it's between them and Oregon. And I'm not going to say that I think they will. I don't feel comfortable with it. He has flip-flopped multiple times. So I'm not going to say yes. I'll say 50-50, leaning towards yes, that they will land him. But I wouldn't be surprised if that changes. And the other guy that I think they land is linebacker, because they do need one more linebacker in this class, even though they took 4 guys in the past class that were capable of playing linebacker, is late bloomer Landon Van Kekerix. Okay. I think he will be an Iowa Hawkeye. On Rivals, it says that Iowa has offered him, but on 247 Sports, it does not say that Iowa has offered him. You guys can see here he's ranked as an 87. I think it's important that Iowa lands him. All right, guys, that'll do it. This is kind of just my, relaxed, reaction and what it means for the Iowa Hawkeyes to have landed Xavier Wampa. It is absolutely huge. It's awesome. This is an excellent time to be an Iowa Hawkeye fan. It really is. It doesn't get much better than this, folks. So let's run through it again. Number one, okay, is the connections. Okay, that's number one. That is the connections that Xavier Wampa has with the other top level, not just recruits, but top level recruits. The other thing is it shows Iowa, it shows to fans and recruits that Iowa can, in fact, land high caliber guys. And third, in my opinion, is my biggest reaction is it's time for Kirk Ferentz to do a lot with this recruiting class. That is, or with the past three recruiting classes, which was ranked 35th, 24th, and the one currently is ranked 39th, but that's only because they have only 12 commitments right now. Once their class gets a little bit bigger, they'll be top 30 easily. They have 2 4-star guys from the state of Iowa, which is absolutely huge. All right, let's watch this one more time.
So for the next 3 to 5 years, I'll be continuing my academic and athletic career at the University of...
Oh! Awesome. All right, guys. You guys know I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not that stoked. I'm stoked, but I'm not that stoked. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me. I really do hope you guys consider subscribing. It means a lot when you guys do that. And look at this guy standing. What a dork. It really does mean a lot when you guys do that. I really am trying to build a community. There's no YouTube channel like mine, which is traditional content, pre-recorded, and I do live videos as well. So I do hope you guys consider subscribing. But if you don't, at the very least, like, comment, and you'd be surprised how much sharing the content really does help. I mean, I've said this many times. There's been multiple occasions where someone has shared out the video and it just makes the video so much more popular. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me at 247 Hawkeye, and make sure you do that. Happy birthday, dude. Great pick. And go Hawks. So that's it. That is it. Subscribe and let me know what you guys think about this commitment. What does it mean for the Hawkeyes and things like that? All right, guys. DBAP, don't be a pussy, Willow. And facts are feelings. Your feelings don't matter. Love y'all. Go Hawks. Bye.